And just like that, it's Sunday night. Welcome to the Indie Escape Network presents The Path to Carolina Fearfest 2024, excuse me. Can't tell that I just got off of work. Let me see if I can take this picture down and we can see the lovely host of the show, Wendy here, and co-host Jaime Hill. Ladies, how are you this evening?
Joe, I've missed you both because we haven't done this in a bit, but I'm really excited. I'm going to tell you why before you start your housekeeping, because we're going to talk about Carolina Fearfest, where
yes,
I am.
We are.
So, but go ahead, Joe. We don't want to interrupt. Do your housekeeping. Do the housekeeping.
My housekeeping. Well, first, how are you guys? As you said, it's been a bit. Wendy, you look fabulous. Jaime, you as well. What have you been up to?
Jaime.
You know, digging out of the snow, the igloos and all.
Snow. The only snow we have in Florida comes from Miami. No, I'm kidding.
Bad. It's been good.
Oh, I know. I get it. Joe, I've not been up to anything very exciting, just so you know. I have a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old, so it's drama and friends over and loudness. Just that's about it, another work. So.
I gotta tell you something, Wendy. My 3-year-old granddaughter had just been diagnosed with autism.
Oh, well, that can be very scary, but do you have a lot of support, or how do you?
Let me tell you what really helped my son and daughter-in-law. I played them a clip of Billy West from Futurama when he was on the show. He did all the voices and everything, but he spoke about autism as well.
Remember?
So it was very motivating. So I cut the clip for them. I put it nice and I sent it to him. My daughter-in-law cried. She was very grateful, but Billy made an excellent point. So I just want to throw that out there. Thank you for having him on that time.
Yeah,
it meant a lot.
Great, isn't he? He's amazing and a sweetheart. But I'm glad, and I hope everybody's okay in the fam. I know you have all those grandchildren. Jaime has grandchildren, even though she's, 17 or something. But
well, I got you beat. I have 2.
I know, you're both younger than me. But yeah, go ahead, Joe. What kind of stuff you need?
Oh, okay. So, as you guys may have heard, after a long period of time, I'm considering going back to broadcasting on the network.
Yay.
So it's pretty big news for me. It's been probably 6 years since I've been solo, but I am looking for a co-host / producer. So if anyone knows anybody that's interested in working Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, let me know. Drop me a line at the Indie Escape email. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you're new to our network, are you a creative and have a new indie movie trailer or commercial? Email it to us. We'll play it on an upcoming network show. Absolutely free. Let's get it promoted. Let's do it. And if nobody is aware of our network, we have quite a few shows on it. We have Generation Movie on Monday nights with JW and Rich. Right now they're doing Bondathon. That's James Bond, by the way. They're doing some James Bond movie. And then on Tuesday night, we have Loud and Nerdy with JW, Jerry, and Kyle. And starting on Wednesdays nights, we're going to have Symbolistic Cynicism. God, I hate saying that.
Oh, I know who's in that then.
That's Gabe. So he's going to be on Wednesday nights, and then Thursday nights. Well, I gotta make an edit there, but Wendy and Jaime, the sticky microphone, Thursday nights. So,
all right.
And if everybody hasn't already, please do us a favor. It's not going to cost you a thing. It only takes a few seconds. Go to our socials, hit the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, if you would. That's all I got.
I like that. Oh, here I'm turning. I could do colors. Oh, that's a little less harsh. So are you ready for me? We've talked about us and we're great, but we have some great folks on the show tonight. You ready? All right. Well, you might have noticed it was a picture of. He's a friend of the networks and a friend of each of ours personally. As Matt Burns, we got to give him a shout out and a little prayer and love because he has bad flu. He cannot talk. So we're hoping that he feels better. But we have somebody that's standing in for him. And I want to say I'm excited because we have Mick Manhattan, and he does a podcast called the Scene Snobs Podcast. And he is also the programming guru for Fearfest. So he helps organize that and does all the media. Really great guy. Very nice looking too, if I must say so myself.
Wow. Okay. He's getting way too. I didn't get the good looking or anything. I'm a little hurt.
Cutie pie. Now we have Michael McGlynn, who I'm very excited to finally meet personally, because, you know, you kind of have friends on Facebook and we've worked in different projects, you know, maybe we've both done them or blah, 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 and mutuals. So great, nice guy. And I believe that we're saying this right, Michael. I think you're Slasher 15?
Yep, I sure am.
Slasher 15 films. Actor, producer from such films as One of One, Zero, The Sawyer Massacre, Shriek Show, which, by the way, James L. Edwards, my guy, was in with you, and Bloody Summer Camp. So you worked with Brad as well, I guess. Great guy. And then finally, we have somebody that's very exciting to have on, and he's going to be at Fearfest, Brian Bremer. And he is an actor, producer, writer, and of course, I found out a voiceover like myself.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Brian, he did a very exciting character. I'm going to tell you something, Brian. I might have been the only person in the world that didn't ever watch Pumpkinhead, and I did finally. And it's a great film. Your character was like a cross between feral children from Mad Max and Tobias from Sweeney Todd. That's
hey, that's cool.
He's in Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, and other films like Society, Spontaneous Combustion, TV shows like Rectify, Meet the Browns, House of Pain, countless others. And of course, when we talk to you, please, we'll hear your story and add anything you like. But why don't we get down to business? And first of all, guys, one at a time, how are you guys doing?
Would you mind if I just brought up that Brian should finally know that we're here for the shunting, actually? So,
oh, geez. I'm actually wearing pants, so that probably won't work yet.
If you get a chance, watch Society and you'll understand.
That was supposed to be a very controversial film, so I had that on my list.
Oh, Nick Benson is a good friend of ours.
Yeah, Nick's great. We love
Nick. Nick is great.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
So, Brian, now you're still, if I can ask, are you still in LA right now? Or
no, actually, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia in 1994. I had a musical group. And we moved to play the Olympics, and then we played the Olympics, and the band broke up, and everybody went back to where they'd come from. Okay. And I stayed in Atlanta because my family. So I'm from North Carolina originally, which is where I'm so excited. Yeah. Where are you? You're in Raleigh, right? Do you know where Sanford, North Carolina is?
Of course, I know.
Well, I grew up in the summertime on my great aunt's farm in Sanford, North Carolina. So that's where I was born in North Carolina. So I'm so excited because I haven't done a show there yet, and I'm really excited to meet you and to get back to my home state. Yeah,
I know. I love it here.
Super excited. Nice. Yeah. North Carolina is my home.
Well, North Carolina is home. And Michael, you're in, we've talked about, I think you're either in, and I apologize, you and Matt, are you guys in West Virginia or Maryland? I always kind of.
Actually, Matt's actually in Maryland. I'm actually in Central Virginia.
You're in Central Virginia.
In a beautiful part of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
I'm sorry. I'm still getting all giddy about this. I mean, like, one Nick is absolutely freaking beautiful. That's why I used to date the man.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Don't tell my wife.
Brian, we both got all three of us got to work together recently.
Right.
The Slasher Nurse, baby. I love it.
Yeah. And we'll be promoting that at Fearfest. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really awesome.
That was a fun one, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I was so happy to work with these guys. First of all, the script is amazing. The scene was great. You know, Dave writes so well. And, you know, when you read the scene, you know, all of us being actors, you read the scene and you see that there are things between the lines. Okay. There are implied relationships, right? There are things that aren't said, but that you can play that just give it all this dimension. And then I get lit on fire in a chair and burned horribly and die a horrible death. So it was really, sorry, spoiler. But I had so much fun. And the thing, and I got to say, I mean, I've been on a lot of sets, but I really do have to say that Dave's sets are amazing. And I told you guys this when I was there. It was run better than some of the biggest budget stuff I've been on. And everybody knew so well their job and what they were doing. And it was so efficient and it was easy. So it was just fun, and it was 100% professional. And it reminded me of making a movie like Spontaneous Combustion with Tobe Hooper, or even making Pumpkinhead, because back then, you know, those were not big budget movies. They didn't have a lot of money, and they had to get very, very creative, and it was practical effects, and that was really indie filmmaking. In Spontaneous Combustion, the opening credits, Tobe Hooper set up a barbecue in his backyard, lit it on fire, and then put tinfoil on a spit and poked holes in it and rotated it and shot it. And that's the opening credits to Spontaneous Combustion. It's just fire popping through. And that's what it was like on Slasher Nerds. Is like you're innovating, and you have to come up with all these ways to do things and do them well. So, I mean, I loved it. And actually, Michael, you guys really reignited my love for being in movies. And so thank you. I really love, and I'm really happy I get to come and be with you at Carolina. We're going to have a good time.
Oh God. Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little teary eyed here.
Don't cry.
I'm trying not to.
Don't kiss Mick.
I'm actually gonna talk over Michael for a second, because he deserves a little more praise as the producer.
Right.
Michael on every set steps in, and he'll take any job over if he needs to help somebody out, be there. Yeah, I agree 100% with what Brian's saying about Dave and all that talent and everything that he puts into it. His movies keep getting better and better as time goes, which is fantastic. But Michael, you're the man. You're a great producer.
You did everything on that set that day. He was all over the city of whatever city we were in, out in the middle of the woods, going to get stuff and this and that. And we needed something, and we ran up. Yeah.
Where was this filmed, guys?
We were filming in and around the Charlottesville, Virginia area. It was Slashers because we had one of our bigger budgets. We really got to play around with a lot of locations. We got a hospital. We got to film at Richmond. We got a camp, like a giant cabin, like out in I think it was Winchester, Virginia, and then with Brian, we filmed in Charlottesville. We also found a stone church and a bar, which actually is now a local bar that actually is now kind of like become like, hey, these guys have filmed a movie here. Come over here to our bar and hang out.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, every time I go out, I was in that movie. I'm not going to say what happens to my character. Well, let's just say I got blood on my hat. So like the inside of my hat.
We did not give a spoiler, Mick. Good job. I'm sorry I gave a spoiler.
No. I like, it's going to be so much fun. You should definitely check out the Slasher Nurse and everything Slash 15 does. But I got blood all over my hat, and I'm 6'8", so whenever I walk into a room, people see the blood stains on. But I wear it as a badge of honor because I get to work with Slash 15. They're fantastic.
Well, it sounds fun. When does it come out, guys?
We are planning. We're actually in editing right now, but we are actually going really well ahead of schedule on our editing, and we are planning hopefully a October premiere.
Right.
Okay, that's exciting. Well, I hope I want to get to see it. This sounds fantastic.
We will go to the premiere, Wendy.
Let's go. You'll be my date.
Yeah, for sure. It's a day.
I have I did a film recently, and I kept the nurse's uniform. They had a real nurse's uniform. I had the nurse's hat, and I was a head nurse. It was real sexy. It was pretty good. The white tights and the stethoscope. Never gave it back. They didn't ask for it back.
Can I borrow it?
Oh my gosh.
You can borrow it. You want to wear it?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay.
I have real nursing scrubs.
You do?
Well,
Are you a nurse,
Bachelor
Jamie?
of Science in Nursing. Yeah.
Oh, right on.
I have an education in it, but I don't do it.
Jamie,
I like doing voiceover and acting now. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
it's more fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I got a question for Mike. Mike, do you know Sean Smithson?
I sure do. I actually worked with Sean on Hellvira on the Run. Not the newest one, not done wrapping up filming, but in order to get promotion for that one, the director Morgan wanted to do a short film called Hellvira on the Run, and in that one, I actually play a few characters. I play one character named Jax. I kind of play a recluse in the woods that gets visited by this crazy demonic female clown, Lyra. She's the best way to describe her. I would say would be like she's a cross between Killjoy the Clown and Harley Quinn. She's goofy.
Hellvira.
Loved the concept. Morgan was wonderful to work with. Such a great guy. Unfortunately, due to budgeting, Morgan could not afford to fly me out for the full feature-length film. I was originally signed on to be a part of it, but he just couldn't get enough funding to get me to come out to Texas, unfortunately. But honestly, though, regardless, you all need to check it out. These are a lot of them.
I've seen it, by the way. Before you finish, Sushi did a great job. So
she did. She is phenomenal. Role.
So I was in MegaCon Orlando last year, and the short played there at their film festival. And I actually took the pictures and everything for Morgan and Sean to see everything on the big screen there. That was pretty wild.
So because you saw, I have to ask you if you saw my other character in the film in a bar. Would you take?
He's laughing. Uh-oh.
I don't want to give anything away.
were you like in part of it? Were you like a woman or something?
I was a woman, actually. Yeah, it was actually originally a Slasher 15 gimmick because I found out that one of our crew members, him and his husband, used to be professional drag queens. Like really, really good ones. Like they showed me their work. I was so blown away. I was like, oh my god! And of course, with all my Slasher 15 movies, I always run these silly gimmicks that usually puts me in some kind of funny spotlight of some sort. And after I heard that, of course, I looked right at him, and we were still funding for Go Away, like our home invasion one. And I just looked right at him and go, "Could you all make me into a woman?" And I swear it was almost kind of like Mrs. Doubtfire. They just looked at me like, "Oh my god, we thought you."
Yeah, excited for it.
Did you enjoy it?
I actually did. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I really, really appreciated the amount of work that you have to put into it. I'm here thinking okay, yeah, you slip on a pair of pantyhose, and they just start going.
Because I submitted you for RuPaul's Drag Race. I sent in your tape.
There's more.
I don't know.
Lots more tape.
But wait a minute. Mick's 6'8". He may be better for.
I don't know. Kind of a gruesome woman. Nice guy, but 6'8". That might be a little scary as a chick.
It would give RuPaul a run for his money.
Let's save it for after Carolina Fear Fest. Make sure everybody comes out.
No problem. Well, I'd like to, one of the things I always like to do is kind of hear everybody's story of how they got where they are. So if we can, I'd love to start with Brian. Brian, kind of maybe tell us your journey from teen to actor now, voice actor, and all, what you've done.
Oh my God, Wendy, how much time do you have?
Well, we end the show in about 40 minutes, but.
Good, okay. Well, I long story short, hey, Eric. Hey, buddy. I started acting when I was in junior high school. I found my tribe in the drama club, which is what a lot of us did. I was the bad kid out back, smoking cigarettes with the bad kids. And that's where I found something I was good at. And I really, just fell into it then and started acting through high school. I got a scholarship. My last year of high school, I had no idea where I was going to go to school. I was not a good student. I was a great student until my senior year. And then suddenly I was a terrible student for a lot of reasons that I won't go into. But I had nowhere to go to school, to go to college. I remember it was the spring of my senior year. My mother took me to the Southeastern Theater Conference in Tampa. And I did an audition, and I walked away from the audition, and I had 13 offers to go to school, some form of scholarship in some way or another. And Pepperdine University offered me a full scholarship. And so my dad's like, well, that's where you're going. We knew nothing about it. I'd never been to California. He's like, that's where you're going. So I did. That's how I got to California. And in my first year at school, I actually was able to, I did a play. Oh my God, I'm rambling. This is way past my bedtime, you guys. I am so
sorry.
Anyway, no, it's okay. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so happy to be here. I could talk all night, so you'll have to just interrupt me and tell me to stop. But the very first show I did at Pepperdine, on the scholarship, you don't just get it for free. You have to work the theater. You're in the theater all the time. You have to do tech. You have to do everything to pay back your scholarship.
That is awesome.
That's it, right? You gotta put in the hours. So the first show I was in was Camelot, and I played Mordred. And a lady came backstage afterwards, and she said, "I'd like you to come and interview at my agency." And it was the Gage Group in LA. Well, it turns out she was the receptionist And she just really liked me, and she talked her bosses into letting me come and read for them. So
Wow.
always be nice to everybody. That's what I tell my students. I mean, everybody is, helping each other. So I auditioned, I got into the agency and just started auditioning. And one of the first auditions they sent me on was Pumpkinhead. And I auditioned and got a call back, and had the call back with Stan Winston, and the rest of the cast that got cast was there. And I booked the movie. And it's so funny because I love horror movies. I grew up like all of us did, watching them in the basement, with my friends when I was in high school, not making good grades. And I knew all of Stan's work, but I wasn't 100% who he was. I was 20 years old when I booked that movie, and I was just very young and very naive. But I remember after I booked the movie, the Oscars were on, and I was in my apartment in Canoga Park with like 7 guys that shared the apartment, because we're all broke. And Stan walks across the stage to get his Oscar for Aliens. And I call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, that guy, that's a guy I'm going to work with. That guy just hired me to be in a movie. So I had stars in my eyes, and everything was fun and great. And then after that, I just kept auditioning. And one by one, over the course of a few years, I ended up in Society and Spontaneous Combustion and Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. And a lot of people think that one led to the other, but they really didn't. I was just hustling and auditioning and just happened to book. In fact, on the set of Society, I remember Brian Yuzna came up to me the first week of shooting, and he goes, "Oh, you're that kid from Pumpkinhead, right?" Like, oh, yeah, that's me.
Well, we got a question pertaining to ask Brian about test tube teens in the year 2000.
Hello, I always forget to mention that, and many others. Yes, my softcore pornography debut, it turned out to be. What's your question? Ask about. Okay, so I did this movie called Test Tube Teens for the year 2000, which was my mother's favorite movie. It was me, Chris Wolf, Morgan Fairchild, and it's about these teenagers that go into the past to stop this woman from outlawing sex. Very fun.
Wait a minute, Morgan Fairchild won to outlaw sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. Mind blown.
Anyway, we shot the movie. It was a really, really fun. It's a really fun movie, actually. I got to cross dress and do a character, because I had a sketch comedy theater here for a long time, and I love comedy and I love doing characters. That's probably where I found my footing as an actor eventually. But after Paramount made the movie, they decided they couldn't sell it unless they sold it to Skinamax or Cinemax. So they went in after the fact, and they cut in all of these scenes of naked ladies in the shower scrubbing themselves. And it's like there's one scene where Chris and I are standing in a doorway, like looking like this, and we were looking at something, but they cross-cut it with, the reverse shot is now these women in a shower lathering. It became that kind of movie. It was my mother's favorite movie, so I can't slight it, and I really love the performance. I think it's called Virgin Hunters now.
Wow.
Anyway, thanks, Stan. But then I stayed in LA, and I was a struggling actor, and between gigs I worked in a video store in the Pacific Palisades, so I got to meet people like Ozzy Osbourne, and Chevy Chase was a regular customer. And then I joined the rock band.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, he was not nice to me. Well, he was eventually nice to me. I kind of figured out that whole thing he puts on is a thing he puts on. And once you know that and you kind of fight back a little bit, he respects you, and he's very nice. Very nice man. Okay. I got to work with some great guys. So I moved back to Atlanta with the band because we were very serious about that. And sort of just decided that after the band broke up that I wasn't really going to perform anymore. And I stayed here in this part of the world because my family was here, and got to spend time with my great aunt, whose farm I grew up on before she passed. So that was changed my life in unbelievable ways. And worked behind the scenes. So that's why I started producing and working in casting and working for the talent agency. And then I found voice acting, Wendy. I mean, long story short, I found voice acting. I fell in love with it, and I never looked back. And I've done that for 22 years. Yeah,
you teach I teach in private coach as well. So, and I also saw that you do work for Disney. I do Disney.
Yeah.
But not the animation, like for the park.
The park stuff,
like narrating and commercials. So, yeah, that's so great. So wow, what a good story. I love it.
Well, thank you. Sorry I took so long, you guys.
No, that's not okay.
I did.
No, I loved it. It was great. It's a great story, and it's important. I mean, like, you see all these wonderful people such as yourselves, and you want to know, like, hey, I mean, of course, you could look at your little IMDb bio.
Yeah.
You can't get all of that.
Oh.
So I really appreciate it. Michael, what say you? Where'd you come from? What'd you do?
Where'd you come from? What you do?
Oh wow. Mine was actually just a weird, odd series of crazy coincidences that all just seemed to kind of work out. I would have to say. I never thought in a while, like I was a fan. Like it's kind of crazy. I listened to Brian's upbringing. I was very similar. Like I was that late night HBO Cinemax, or as he says, Skinamax kind of upbringing.
Hey, I didn't say I watched it.
But you didn't deny it either.
No, I didn't.
My porn was scrambled, so.
Those were
the days.
That's how they did it back then. But go ahead.
When I was going through school, I first found my first love and avenue, which actually ended up being kickboxing, Muay Thai kickboxing, and mixed martial arts. And I kept doing a bit of a career in that. I actually, for a while, was working out in Vegas. I was a UFC trainer, especially was Muay Thai kickboxing, trained with actually a couple of former UFC champions and a few former Ultimate Fighter, the TV series winner alumni as well. Then I suffered a neck injury and decided to hang it up and wanted to find a new avenue in life. And funny thing is, I was always raised I loved indie horror. Even growing up, I was a big fan of it. I even still own like half the Camp Blood series and like a lot of the old Trauma series and stuff like that. Was just like my Saturday morning rituals a lot of times. And I was driving my wife absolutely nuts because, as you can tell, I'm extremely hyperactive and with no avenue to go down anymore. Especially, I was like, well, I don't think I can do martial arts. And she's like, well, you got to find something. And then she mentioned like, well, we used to do acting in high school and stuff like. And I was like, yeah, but I also used to do home ec too for the same reason. That's where all the girls were. But I did actually enjoy acting, though. The drama teachers fought me on it. They're like, you can claim you don't like it, but you're good at it. And so I decided to go ahead and try out for one of Dave's films, with Slasher 15. And it was actually his second film, Return of the Slashers. And I contacted him about it. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to break. I'm sorry to break your heart here, but we actually wrapped up filming about almost 2 months ago. He goes, but we're gonna probably do a camp one called Bloody Summer Camp. If you want to audition for that, you can see what you have." And at that point, I was like, "Well, it's not a new career path. It was kind of more of a bucket list." So I decided to go. You know what? I saw he had a crowdfunder going for it, and like he had options. Like, well, you can be killed in the film. Like, well, I can just lock this in, just be killed in the film and stuff. And then I bought the perk to be killed in the film, and I explained to him, yeah, I'm not really an actor. I'm just a fan. And I was like, okay, that's good. This is kind of what the perk was meant for. I'm not trying to make actors pay for films. You want to make that perfectly clear. I was like, oh yeah, no, this is just like a bucket list. He goes, okay, great. Well, I see you live in the area, so why don't you come on by? And he goes, matter of fact, we're doing a rap party for Return of the Slashers. Some of the cast members will be in the next film. You can get to meet some of them, and you can get to see who they are and get to know them a little bit. And they were absolutely wonderful. Brought me in with open arms, even though I was just some guy who bought a perk to be killed in their next film. They treated me like I was a part of the family right away and stuff. And then we got to our first script reading. I read my character as Roger from Bloody Summer Camp. And right out of the gates, everyone started laughing horribly at me. And I got the worst complex in the world. I was like, oh my God. Like, did I do all this wrong? And I just looked right at Dave, and Dave was just dying laughing. Corey goes, no, keep going. Please keep going. And I originally had 2 scenes, or maybe 3 scenes in the film. And every time we got near the end of my run, Dave's like, I got a couple extra scenes I might like to put you in. So why don't you stick around for a few more film dates? Absolutely. And I kept on showing up, and Dave kept on putting me in more scenes. And then eventually Dave got done with me and wrapped up with me. He goes, hey, can I talk to you off to the side? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, So we're all done shooting with you, and I was talking with my wife, and we kind of decided that you're always the first to be on set. You're always the last to leave every night on set. You stay behind almost an hour too late just to clean up everything, make sure everything's nice and neat and organized. You didn't have to do any of that. You've never asked me for anything in return, which kind of scares me because he's like, I'm trying to figure out what your angle is. And I was like, honestly, I just don't want to leave. And he goes, well, then in that case, so that's what we both kind of thought. And we were wondering if you and also your wife would like to come on and be our new producers for Slasher 15.
Wow.
Nice. Very cool.
Ever since then, Dave and Amber have made me and my wife Jamie part of the family, and we've been.
Wow. Well, if you do my dishes and clean my house a little bit, you could be the producer of my house.
You almost had me. You're so close. So close.
That's great. So that's an interesting story how you became producer. And so you're just saying you really weren't an actor necessarily, and you just kind of fell back into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because you have all this like positive energy. So of course, who wouldn't want you on set? You're great.
Right. Yeah. My friend Stan is watching, and he said, Michael seems like such a great guy. And I have to tell you, he is an amazing person.
Oh,
Michael, I just love you so much. I can't wait to see you in person again. And you really made my experience so wonderful. And you just have just such an amazing energy.
Oh,
such a wonderful, wonderful, positive energy. And we had a scene together, but we didn't get to act together because I was kind of solo on the phone because you were out getting something that we needed. We were rehearsing, and I was rehearsing my lines, and Dave's like, let's just shoot it. It's good. Let's do it. So we didn't get, but I hope next time we get to actually act face to face together.
And I can tell you right now, like, I can honestly tell you, there will be definitely a next time.
I hope so, Michael. I really do.
Dave, I know I can speak very honestly and very openly about this for on behalf of Dave and Amber and Jamie and myself. Brian, we absolutely adore you. You were so phenomenal. I mean, you were beyond, not only were you just beyond so sweet, you gave us a phenomenal performance.
Thank you.
Of you and Slasher Nurse, and you were amazing.
We
had a vision of what we were expecting you to do, and we were going to be very happy with what we thought we were going to get. And me and Dave both said the same thing. What we got from you was just so much better.
It was very sweet. It was very kind. It was a great script. It was a great script and a great crew and a great experience. And that, that's what it's about. It's a collaboration. And when you feel comfortable and you feel like you can create freely, and you do your work. And that's the one thing I think that makes me a better actor now. Wendy, we're talking about kind of people's journey with acting. The one thing about getting older is you realize that it is about the craft and that it's about the audience, right? The great thing about doing the cons, the thing I love about doing the cons these last couple of years is you get to meet the people that watch the movies, because when you do a play, you get to meet your audience and they're there and you get that interaction. Immediate. Yeah. And feedback too. Like they tell you what they thought of it. And you don't get that in film. And being able to go out to Fearfest, which is exciting. I can't wait. You meet people that see the movies. And when we're doing like Slasher Nurse now, I'm like, okay, I know the audience now. I know who's going to watch this. And you do it. You really do it for them, which is why we do this. We're storytellers and we tell the stories for the audience. That's why we do it. So that gets you deeper into the work. And you guys create a very comfortable experience for actors to be able to do the work without fear. And some sets aren't like that, some sets, and some bigger sets are definitely not like that. There's a lot of ego, and that's to be expected. Ego comes from insecurity, and sometimes you work with a big actor and you go, oh gosh, they're such a jerk. It's like, well, you got to understand kind of where they're coming from and what they're going through, and the attention that they get, and all the pressure they're under, and blah 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 blah. But that's really not what it's about. It's about that core collaboration, that creativity. Anyway, I ramble. Sweet tea.
I like that. And it is true because everybody, especially when you're an actor, if you can work with other actors and other creatives that feed each other, then it's a wonderful. But before we go crazy, I want to hear about Mick's journey. What's it like to be 6'8" and big slops? Go ahead. Tell us.
Love it.
I'm podcast, so I'm going to take you down. No, I'm just kidding. I'm having fun. That's what it's all about. I am a guy who started out, loved movies. as a kid, wanted to make movies, did, grabbed the high 8, ran around high school, filming stuff.
Right on.
Loved doing the, drama. And in college, I got into, in my first stint in college, where before I quit that, I worked in theater, loved that. That was the greatest thing in the world. Started acting, hated that, didn't want to do it, but I saw it as an in to try and get into filmmaking. Went to film school, became a producer. I've been working in the industry 22 years now. I consult more now. I've been working as a podcaster professionally for about 12 years. I started on a channel called Mario Likes Movies. Then I moved to turned out to be pretty popular, but it was called a podcast called Mystery Elephant for a little while. And then I started the Scene Snobs channel, which boasts 30 shows about.
Well, I want you to know I feel bad because you came on, last minute. I'm going to definitely check it out, So
I appreciate that.
I'm going to check out your work.
I do. If I could, though, I'd really love to highlight some of Carolina Fearfest. If I could, they have been so amazing. I've been with them since 2021. A truly wonderful convention. It brings back the nostalgia of old times at conventions. I don't mind new conventions now, but if you've been to old ones 20 years ago, they were a lot more fun, a lot more spread out, a lot more to do, events, things like that. Carolina Fearfest does that in droves. Now, there's plenty of others that do as well all over this country. I'm not taking anything away, but it is nice to not be pinned down. It's open. You can go around. The celebrities are all great. The vendors are amazing. Just the performances they put up on the main stage, the panels, just tons and tons of stuff to do that weekend, and you're going to have a great time.
Oh, by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that because I do want to tell people too. I mean, of course, people go for the guests. That's one of the main reasons, but you have so much room. It's just such a great space and it's comfortable. It's fun. People are friendly. And the vendors, I mean, every year I go, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to spend more than like $200. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I do. And I mean, why do I need a murder knife hair clip? I don't know, but I did. I did. And I needed 2 of them. So, I mean, these are the kinds of stuff that I'm like, they have the coolest stuff and the coolest vendors. I mean, really interesting. So that's one of the other cool things about it. It's just a fun place to bring your, my friend, Amy, you guys know Amy Cody, right? Or some of you do. She brings her girl. I think she's going to bring them this year. I'm not sure, but it's great for family. It's great for, adults. So it's just such a fun space. So I cannot stress enough. Come to Carolina Fearfest.
Could I, and I just want to add, I praised everybody. I want to praise the volunteer staff who is absolutely amazing. Every year they get better and better and they're fantastic. So I just needed to highlight them.
Can I say, Mick, I'm so excited to come to Carolina Fearfest. I just started doing cons like about 1.5 years ago, and I have wanted to come to this particular show forever. And I have worked it and talked to people and talked to whoever I can. And you guys finally made it happen. So thank you very much. I'm really excited to come back to my hometown.
We're glad to have you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things. So everybody loves Fearfest. Everybody in the circle loves Fearfest. So people need to get out there.
I get to be a handler this year. I'm kind of excited. I've never done that. So
wear gloves.
Yeah, I will. Plastic ones, dishwashing ones. Yeah, I'm excited. So everybody, by the way, I first of all, I have to say you guys are really fun and adorable, and I'm so glad that you're here. But what else do we need to know? I mean, Joe, I know that we still have a little bit of time yet, but should we talk about a little bit about some of their projects coming up, or do you want to wait on that?
Oh, hey, you're running the show. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, guys,
I press buttons. You look pretty and do the show.
Jamie, Jamie, as a fellow horror acting icon, what question would you like to ask my buddy?
Like, I want to know what's coming up too, because I've been messaging these guys and liking their comments and stuff online, and I can't wait to come to the stage.
All right, we're going to get to that stuff then. We're going to do something a little more fun and interesting, not cookie cutter questions per se. So, Brian, did you ever take anything off set and keep it as a memento?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't take. I was given. I didn't ever steal.
Fair enough. Okay.
I should have stolen something. Did I take anything from Slasher Nurse? I didn't get anything from Slasher Nurse. I don't think. I have my original. I have Bunt Wallace's original shirt from Pumpkinhead. It's hanging in a plastic thing in my attic. They made like 8 shirts because, you know, they get dirty and various
Yeah.
stuff.
Wait, lunch. That was the name of your. Was it lunch? That was the
Bunt.
name. Bunt.
Like,
Bunt.
like
I did,
kick the
okay.
football, like
Like a
bunt the
bunt cake.
football. Yeah, I will never live that down. But I love this character and I
so-
love this name. And then I did a TV show called TV 101 on CBS. It was on CBS opposite Roseanne, so it did not do well. And they finally put it on Saturday morning, and then they canceled it. But I played this really rich, snobby character named Milo Trump, by the way. This was way back when. Listen, right? This was way
You almost
back.
made me spit my drink. Thank you.
But he had the best clothes because it was CBS, all right? So it was Armani suits and all this stuff, and it was all fitted. And I got to keep every single piece of that wardrobe when we shut the show down. And I wore it for years and cannot wear it anymore. It's that was a long time ago, but that's all I can remember that I really ever took from a.
All right, Mike,
God
same
damn.
question.
That's right.
Any mementos?
Oh God. If I actually no, I think I can honestly say I don't think I've actually ever like swiped.
Walked off a set with anything.
Mike wouldn't. I can already tell. Like
He's too innocent.
Yeah, he's too sweet, and he's gonna stay on set and clean up. No.
All right, let's ask Mick.
I was one of the producers, so I could have whatever I want.
You can have whatever you want.
Do you have any keepsakes that you cherish,
yeah.
or
There's
No,
one,
I
and it was actually from an indie film I worked on that I loved everyone. I can't find it. I had it. Oh, it's all the way up there. I'm not going to get it right now, but it's in my Indiana Jones Holy Grail. I did not steal that from set. It's like a baseball that the entire cast and crew signed because it was a bar scene, so we were dressing it up. And when
Very
that
cool.
ended, that meant a lot to me. That was a really fun one. It was early on in my career. I took the job, and
That's cool.
so that's probably my favorite thing. That's why I keep it on camera. But
Sweet.
yeah, some of the bigger stuff I've hung up. I put posters up, stuff like that. So.
I mean-
So,
Go ahead, John.
if I can stay. Oh no, Wendy, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Well, I was going to ask Mick because I was interested because I didn't, when I looked him up, and again, he came on later, so I didn't see a lot of his acting,
Mick Manhattan's my stage name now.
Gotcha.
I have another. I can send you that info if you want to.
Yeah,
see
I didn't. So I didn't know that. So I was just curious because I didn't know that. Are you a career podcaster, or do you like to do movie roles for fun, or produce? Is that like a side gig, or both, or what's kind of your dream to do?
Well, this is it. What I'm doing, as Scene Snobs is I started this. This is my channel. I love it. We've been bringing on great shows and we're building towards that. So, but I still consult. I still do a lot of editing work, producing, consulting. But I love when I get to jump on indie sets. That is where I really, if I was ever to make a movie again or anything like that, it would be completely independent. That's all I'd want. But hanging out with like Mike and the people over at Slasher 15 and Matt and the people over at Absurd Productions and tons more. There's all the great productions. There's a great indie filmmaking
Community
convergence collective, if you will, in this whole Eastern area that honestly, in my opinion, some of their movies are rivaling what's coming out in Hollywood.
I agree with you.
So
and
of course, people like you doing the Indie Escape and shining a light on that is truly amazing. I love doing it. I love being a part of it. But what I'm doing now, and this is my passion now, it was a dream to be a filmmaker. I achieved that. I loved it. Got burnt out. This right here is where I get to be the most creative, and I love doing it.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, and I agree with you. I think that, having, because not to bring me into it, it's not about me, but I can honestly say, I like doing all of this: voiceover, on camera, podcasting, singing, teaching, coaching. And sometimes, what we do, voiceover, by the way, used to earn me a really great living. And it's not that it doesn't, but I have to supplement, but I am able to do things for fun.
It's like any creative thing, though, Wendy. It comes in waves and it goes in, it comes around.
Easier. I will say this: up until COVID hit, and after COVID, it was COVID. I was keeping really busy, but I think the market became a little saturated, so you have to hustle more.
Everybody jumped.
A lot more rosters, a lot more agencies.
Absolutely, and also, what I have found, and I've expanded into this too, is you have to, you know, get the work that your agents, you have to have your agents, and you have to have many agents in different parts of the country, as you know. But you also do have to hustle and get a lot of your own work. And
production companies, that's the best way, is you go to
absolutely
media market production companies. That's
absolutely
how I teach my students that all the time. That's how you get the work. There's a way to do it. So
yeah, that's what I like about voiceover too, though. You're not just dependent on the work that comes from your agents. Like, you can get work on your own. You can build your own brand, right? Jaime knows, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm always amazed when my friends who are into on-camera acting haven't explored voice acting, and a lot of them don't. You know, they don't teach. We teach it, but when you're growing up in school, they don't teach voice acting in conservatory or at college. Like, nobody even knows what it is.
Nobody knew about it. When I meet people, usually they're like, "I've never met a voiceover. Like, I've never
with the anonymous. Yeah, I like the anonymity of it.
I'm like, oh yeah, you don't want to know about it. It's the best kept secret. We don't want any more of you guys in here. We're done. Good. We're good. We're full. We want to make our money still. So no, but I teach too, so I'm part of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. We got to teach the people coming up though. That's our job.
I'm a mentor. It's in me to be a mentor and really root for the people. Right now, I'll share this because he's really interested. I want to let you guys know because he's looking to do indie. I'm teaching and coaching. He's amazing. He is a swimmer, and he's going to be competing. He's the national top swimmer in the country. He's competing in the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris.
Wow!
And he's a beautiful, good-looking young kid. He's amazing. He's a voice actor, but he's an amazing actor. So he's been really excited, and it's so funny because he's a sports announcer, and he's making a ton of money. He has a team of people that work for him. He flies all over the world, but he really wants to do indie film. I'm like, you know that there's a lot of money. He goes, no, I don't care. I want to do it. So he's putting himself out there. So I just want to make it be known. I might be pushing him a little bit. He's adorable. He's great. He's kind of famous, but he wants to do indie film. So go figure.
Hook us up. We'll help him out.
Yeah. David Curtis.
Gotcha.
An Olympian.
Seriously, we'll help him out. Hook us up.
Oh, yeah.
I want to echo what Mick said, and Mick, you're absolutely right, because I didn't realize that this network of independent filmmakers was here until I started doing cons and meeting the filmmakers, because, you know, a lot of them circulate the cons and they network there and get their scripts out there. And it is amazing. I am so happy to have discovered it because it is raw, real. It's good filmmaking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, you guys, look, we're gonna I want to get started on this because we might be nearing the end. I want everybody to kind of talk about a little bit about their upcoming, whatever you've got that you want to tell everybody about, where people can find you, your upcoming projects. Brian, why don't we start with you? Some upcoming projects that you want to talk about a little bit.
Well, you know, I'm hustling every day. I audition every day, like you do. Slasher Nurse is coming out soon. I'm in talks with another indie film that I'm really excited about. I don't think they haven't announced it yet. So we're still kind of in talks, but, you know, I really have rediscovered my love for on camera with all these guys. And like I said, meeting the audience. So I still do a couple of movies here and there. I always feel like if I'm asked to audition for something, I never turn it down. And I've been in the business long enough that's how I got Rectify. It's how I got Permanent. It's how I got like the kind of the latest movies I did. But my focus really has been voiceover until I kind of found like all these guys. So there's actually 2 indie films that I'm in talks with right now to do. I don't think I can mention one because they haven't announced the cast yet, but that's coming up. So that's exciting later this year. Slasher Nurse is the big thing that's coming out. Also, I worked on Coffin Tooth with Matt. So that's in editing right now. I think Michael worked on that as well. That'll come out a little later this year. And then I'll be at Carolina Fearfest coming up at the end of the month. So I'm very excited about that. All right.
Michael, what about you, my friend?
As Brian said, Slashers will be having our premiere this fall. Our film previous to that, Go Away, we are finalizing our distribution on that one, so that will be out and streaming here very shortly. It's our home invasion one. We got a big giant all-star cast for that one. Tom Matthews from Friday the 13th, Tuesday Night from Nightmare on Elm Street, Felissa Rose. Robert Mukes, L.C. Hull, Justin Marks, and Jeremy Spencer from Five Finger Death Punch, the heavy metal band. And then as well, we also are currently crowdfunding and getting ready to start filming this fall. my 4th film with Slasher 15, but it'll be Dave and Amber's 6th full feature-length film, which is a sequel called Bloody Summer Camp. The first one I fell in love with, the first one that got me on board. We go back and make a sequel. I'm really excited. We got Felissa back. We just announced Dave Sheridan just came back. And like I said, we are currently crowdfunding, and we actually are going to be announcing next week a 3rd addition to our film. Really big name in the horror industry. I think when we announce this person, I think everyone's going to be getting really, really excited. I know it is someone that we've wanted to work with, especially Dave. It's been on Dave's radar for many, many years, and it's finally gotten to happen. So I know he's really excited. I think
Spill it.
Oh, I can't. I like my name. It is.
Who is it?
Damn.
Charles Nelson Riley. He's great. Is he dead? I think he's dead. No? Okay. That's great.
Wow,
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let's
No.
bring him back.
I think we should. We could
He
wrestle.
could be the center square here.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
man, that would be great.
Let's do it.
Oh man.
Zombie Charles, what's his name?
Charles
Nelson
Nelson
Riley.
Riley. Oh, he was great. He was a genius. All right, so Mick, what's coming up for you, my friend?
You can go check out the scene snobs, but my biggest thing right now, and actually before I say that, to plug the indie as well, Mike is amazing. Again, got to say it wrong way, but Mike is amazing. He's fantastic. What they do there, they just crossed, and I don't have the exact number on me right now, but crossed $40,000 in crowdfunding. That shows you, that's a testament to your community.
That's amazing.
Following, yeah, absolutely.
You know, that means you're making something great, and you guys should be very proud of yourself.
That's right.
I will say I love Carolina Fear Fest. I do go to other conventions, but I don't do any others. I do one a year. I was like, that's it. That's all I'm doing, and I love it. Nothing against anybody else. I just too much time. Can't do everything. But I do love this convention. It's such a good time. You're going to have from Friday night, if you have your weekend tickets or VIP passes, all the way to the end. There's stuff that's going to be able to go and do. I'm going to be hosting the Saturday night party, so get your tickets for that. I just really want to plug them. That's what I got going on right now this month, and you know they've just been truly amazing to me, and I love being a part of it.
Well, I can't wait to be there, Mick. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to see you, Michael, Wendy. I can't wait to meet you, Joe, Jamie. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Brian,
Really
are you in the whole time, or are you like a guest? Okay, I wasn't sure if you were.
I think so. Yeah, I'll come in. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and then I'll probably leave Sunday after the show's over. But yeah, I'll be there the whole time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
No,
will you be there the whole time, Wendy? You will because you're a handler.
I mean, I'm assuming they might schedule me for the whole weekend. I'm not positive.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And Joe, Mick, are you guys there like the entire show?
Yeah, I'll be there from the entire time. Yeah, I'm helping run it.
And Jamie, are you going to be there?
Yes,
Yeah, no, you must.
I'm way in Canada still.
Oh, you're in Canada. Where are you?
I'm in Alberta.
Oh, God, that's beautiful. Wow.
And unfortunately, I'm too far south in Florida to make it this time. So.
Oh, boo.
No.
Well, I hope we get to meet in person at some point.
I agree because, I actually tagged you in a post. Where the hell? And I really want to get this to you because I got it at a convention in Cocoa down here, and I guess you weren't able to make it. And the guy who ran it gave this to me, and we did some of the panels there. I'm trying to remember. I think we did Felissa's panel and Texas Chainsaw Massacre panel with Dugan, Allen, and I'm missing one. Damn it. I'm bad at this. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, so I picked that up there, and I mean, I just want you to have it. Don't know if you can use it or make it down to Florida.
Or I'll
give
just
it to
sign
you.
it for you. I'll just sign it and you keep it.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you just keep it. I'll sign it for you.
I know. I love that, guys. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be so much fun. I mean, I know it's going to be before, but it's just such a great energy at Fearfest. I mean, I can't say enough nice things about it.
I'm really excited. I've been really fortunate to do some really awesome shows. But like I said, I've been wanting to do this one for a long time, so I'm counting the days.
So I have one more question before we wrap it up, if I may, unless Wendy and Jamie have more questions. But Brian, have you received like any fan art that you cherish?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because I only started doing cons a couple of years ago, like I said, but people have always pointed out Pumpkinhead. People have talked to me about that for a long time, and I've had lots of really fun stuff sent to me. This one young lady, though, and I still have this. My good friend Amy, she sent me a picture of my face and Nick from The Walking Dead, like kind of smushed together, that she painted herself, and that was really I cherish that. And just recently, I was doing a screening of Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 in Maryville, Tennessee, and my friend Kelsey, who I met at the shows, is an incredible artist, and she drew this amazing pencil portrait of my character Pino when I was very young and I had beautiful hair, and it's just the most beautiful picture. And she's such a good artist, and she just captured the character, and she brought it up to me at the table, and I just broke down in tears. I mean, I've never seen anything that it was just stunning. It was just beautiful. So yeah.
But we got a comment. A Pez dispenser. Does that mean anything?
Oh, the Pez dispenser. At Scarefest last year, someone made a Pumpkinhead Pez dispenser. Made it, and with real candy in. Oh no, it didn't have candy in it because he didn't want me to think he was going to poison me or something.
That was kind.
Yeah. I got to tell you, that's the most amazing thing. There are a lot of times when I'm at the table that I have to walk away from the table because someone will tell me just an amazing story about how their grandmother showed them this film, or their dad showed them this film, and their dad's not around anymore. I mean, I hear the most amazing stories. For me, that really is what this is about. And I'm sorry, I know we're out of time, but the very first show I ever did was with Felissa Rose, and I sat next to her, and I was so nervous about the show because I thought, well, who's going to want to come see me, and what am I doing here, and what's this all about? And we had a friend in common, so we talked a little bit before the doors opened. But right before the doors opened, I turned to her and I went, I am so nervous. And she goes, oh, honey, we're just here to give love and receive it in return. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And she was absolutely right. And I've really been fortunate to do. She's a dear. I know you all know that she is.
Oh, her and Dave, when they get together at conventions and
people. But she was absolutely right. I mean, that is what it's about. A lot of times people say, oh, I was too nervous to come up and talk to you. I'm like, you got to understand, we're nervous too. Probably more nervous than you are. Because we're just people, but it's all about those moments of connecting with the fans. To me, that's the only reason to do this. And it really has changed my life in such a positive way. It's made me so grateful and just so humble to just meet the people, and like I was saying, to know the people that you're telling the stories for, and you become really good friends with them. I mean, that's why I'm excited about Fearfest. It's a place where you just get to make new friends. That's just what I always say.
I think that's lovely, and see how they right. And you're right. See how they connect with you, especially like, I mean, Pumpkinhead was from 1988, and it meant a lot to a lot of people, and because we're older, their parents.
I know. No, I'm just like, oh, you saw that when you were 7? Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
This office means something. Oh, you don't. Of course they don't. They don't toss it. Who would toss art like that? Although, but the last thing I'm going to say, remember we had Lawrence Harvey on, and he was. If you don't know who he is, the Centipede. He did the Human Centipede 2 and 3. If everybody knows, sweet, really sweet guy. And what was the name of that? The kind of stuff that people bring or they're into? Because the mouth to the anus.
Yeah, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Okay.
ATM, baby.
Agree.
It was really good.
I was see if I get Joe to spit up.
You almost succeeded.
Some of the art things people gave him might have been a little less than savory. That's all that we'll say.
Mouth guards. Just say it. That's what you got to be putting out there. Mouth guards.
Was it slightly savory or?
Oh, geez.
No.
What an image. And now
Yeah.
I have to go to sleep.
I know. Sorry, guys.
That'll
Sorry.
be the one time I asked for that giant braces contraption that they asked me for. Like, sorry, I'm out of contention. Braces.
That whole movie. I mean,
Here.
like the whole idea of that is some people can't stomach it, but there's some people that embrace it and think it's great and they're into it. So that's what
I
it's all about.
honestly I've never seen it. Never had.
Oh, you never saw the first one is upsetting. The second one is real hard to
Swallow?
Especially if you're on
oh good you're funny yeah you're funny.
Oh, what happened? I just tuned out. Where was I?
Yeah, you went. I went to my happy place. I'm in my happy place.
Somewhere. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
All right, so it's that time of night that we do that thing.
That thing.
So, Brian, where can your fans follow you on social media, websites, whatnot?
Well, I am on. I'm on Facebook. I'm Brian Bremer, Bremer. You'll know it's me because I have a little picture of the ocean as my profile picture, and you'll see postings about shows and stuff. That's where I post a lot of my upcoming shows and things. And then on Instagram, I'm at B Jordan Bremer, B Jordan Jordan Bremer Bremer.
Excellent.
Thank you
And
for asking.
absolutely. And Michael, same thing, please.
Best place to get a hold of me is my Facebook page, Michael McGlynn. I'll look like Shaggy with CGI Scooby-Doo. Or you can find me on Facebook as well at our group, Slasher15 Productions, LLC. Or Instagram, Michael_Slasher15 Productions.
Or you can
Awesome.
Facebook me, and I'll give you his cell phone number.
I'm doing that as we. No. And Mick.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You can just type in the Scene Snobs into Google or go to @the_Scene_Snobs anywhere, and we're there. So hopefully you guys will join up, hang out with us, and have a good time. We love movies, and we know you do too. So join the Sound Nation.
Oh, he's
Do it right
being
now, Mick.
Bro.
And Mick, thanks for all you do for
he's
Fearfest.
being very modest. Look at all those things on there. There's like what 142.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's only the social media and some of the podcasts.
Wow.
How many social media are there? I think I have one post on Instagram. My daughter has to tell me how to use it. I'm like, I don't know.
When I started this, I said, you know what? I'm going to get the Scene Snobs on all handles, and if I don't have it, I'm okay with it. So it's okay.
All right.
So guys, it was absolutely phenomenal having you on. We're all looking forward to hearing stories, seeing pictures. Carolina Fearfest 2024. I'm going to drop you guys down. If you can hang out for like 2 or 3 more minutes, I'd greatly appreciate it while we wrap this up. And again, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Right, thank you.
Great to see you
Thanks
all.
for coming,
You're
guys.
a joy, adorable, like butter.
Good night, guys.
See you in a minute.
All right, ladies. Okay, so Wendy, now we're at that time where can we find you on social media?
Well, right. I was just laughing because I said, hey, check out my Instagram, Wendy's Ear. You'll see one post, but I follow other people. But you can always message me there if you're too cool for Facebook, or Wendy's Ear on Facebook. That's really about it.
All right, and then Ms. Jamie Hill.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at jamie.hill.vo. And I am even on TikTok now and YouTube stuff. But yeah, having a lot of fun on TikTok. TikTok just doing voiceover stuff and, talking about movies too. And thanks for my movie friends that did pop by. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, and I guess that kind of leaves me. And I don't do the socials on my own, so please go to Indie Escape on Facebook, YouTube. Is that Instagram? I forget what the @ thing is. TikTok,
Twitter.
X,
TikTok.
and what's the @ symbol?
What is that thing, Jamie?
Threads. That's what it is.
Threads?
Okay, you see how good I am at this social media thing?
Oh, wow. Okay, good.
So we are going to wrap it up. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please tune in next time when Wendy will be back on her normal nights on Thursday. I'm thinking within May, June, July.
Yeah, we'll do it. We're going to get this done. We're going to
Yeah.
get back, Jamie, right?
Yeah, I
We
have some
stuff to do. We have
ideas.
people to talk to, right? Jamie, you're supposed to get your friends are supposed to come on.
Yep, I have some Canadians
Get some
that are
Canadians.
just going to wrap up filming.
Yeah. Wait, what is some Canadians? Yeah. No, what do you say? Canadians?
Hey,
Canadians, eh?
Hey, that's it. Canadians,
Eh?
eh? That's it. Okay. Thank you.
on that note, ladies and gentlemen, have an excellent evening. We appreciate you all being here. Have a great night.
Bye,
Thanks, Joe.
everyone. Bye.